Ripple CEO makes a bold statement. Is Ripple about to take down the SWIFT banking system? Because that's exactly what Ripple CEO, Mr. Brad Garlinghouse, just suggested. And the markets, they are paying attention. In a bold new statement, Brad Garlinghouse said that Ripple isn't here to work with SWIFT. It is frankly here to replace it. And if that actually happens, it would be one of the biggest financial shifts or disruptions of our lifetime. Welcome back to another episode of JRNY TV. My name is Nick, and this is where we break down the biggest stories in crypto so we can help you stay ahead of that herd. Today, we are diving face first into Ripple's massive ambitions, why XRP is gaining serious traction, and why some analysts are now calling for a $2,000 price target. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's start off with Ripple's latest moves. SWIFT, the legacy payment messaging network utilized by more than 11,000 financial institutions. It's slow, it is expensive, and it is profoundly outdated. Ripple is offering a direct alternative, a faster, cheaper, and blockchain-based solution utilizing XRP to move money across borders. Mr. Garlinghouse isn't just hyping this up. He's pointing out to real partnerships with banks and the governments as proof Ripple's already well on its way. Just recently, they partnered up with Bank of America. So this isn't just crypto speculation anymore. It's an all-out race to modernize global finance plumbing, and Ripple thinks it's already in the lead. Let's break down why XRP is suddenly the hottest coin in the market and how far it could run this cycle. Why XRP is catching major momentum right now. XRP has been on fire, and the momentum is as real as it gets. First off, the SEC lawsuit that everyone knows about and has haunted Ripple for 5 years is finally winding down. Ripple has officially withdrawn its cross appeal, and legal experts are now estimating a 70 to 90% probability that the SEC will formally drop the remainder of its case by mid-August. That is a game changer. And one reason XRP has recently spiked over 8%. With legal clarity almost here, the investor confidence is beginning to skyrocket. Meanwhile, Bloomberg analysts and tracking estimates now put the odds of a spot XRP ETF approval in 2025 at 85 to 95%, with multiple major issuers reportedly preparing products. A decision this July 25th could be pivotal, potentially unlocking trillions in new institutional demand. On top of all that, institutional infrastructure is already rolling out. CME now offers XRP futures, launching in May 2025 and putting XRP alongside Bitcoin as well as Ethereum in regulated financial products. This is massive for institutional flows, volume stability, and legitimizing XRP as a mature asset class. From a price action perspective, XRP's technicals match the hype. It surged nearly 56% in July, breaking key resistance levels, logging rising volume, and seeing increased whale activity. Even after a minor pullback to the $3.40 range, analysts see the setup echoing past altcoin cycles. Only this time, XRP has legal clarity working in its favor. From $10 to $2,000? Analyst price predictions for XRP. So here's where it gets wild. With Ripple on the brink of closing the chapter on the SEC lawsuit and a potential XRP ETF around the corner, analysts are firing off some of the most bullish predictions that we have ever seen for this token. And we're not just talking about conservative 2x or 3x moves. Some are dropping 4-digit price targets that sound straight up crazy until you look at the numbers. Let's start off with the more grounded takes. Multiple institutional analysts have now called for XRP to reach between $4 to $10 by mid-2025, assuming ETF approval and full legal clarity go through. And that alone would be a 4x to 10x move from current levels. A clean, sustainable run, but very realistic. But then there's the higher end speculation. You gotta love it. Some market researchers and macro crypto investors, they're calling for XRP to hit $50 to even $100 in a full-blown altcoin supercycle. The logic? If XRP becomes the backbone of global cross-border payments and moves just a fraction of SWIFT's annual settlement volume, the upside is astronomical. You're talking trillions with a T of dollars in potential volume, and XRP is designed to scale for it. Now, about that $2,000 price prediction, that came from a handful of deep macro analysts on platforms like TradingView and Polymarket Commentary. They're essentially saying if XRP becomes the global standard and utility drives price the same way that it did for gold or even oil, then $2,000 isn't as far-fetched as some may think. Is it Moonboy talk? Maybe. But in crypto, we've seen crazier things happen before, and faster. Bottom line, whether or not you believe the $10 target is a reality, or the $2,000 moonshot target is a reality, XRP is no longer flying under the radar. It's currently positioned as a top institutional contender, and this cycle might be the one where it finally breaks free from the shadows. XRP's path from underdog to global standard. XRP's come up has been anything but smooth. But maybe that's exactly what makes it so compelling right now. For years, it has been the crypto world's black sheep, constantly under fire, stuck in legal purgatory, and left behind while other coins were ripping. But that narrative is changing, and fast. Ripple isn't just talking about disrupting global finance. They're actively building the rails to do it. From replacing SWIFT to launching a crypto bank, from fighting the SEC to preparing for an ETF approval, XRP has gone from underdog to frontrunner in one of the biggest financial revolutions in our lifetime. And that's not just hopium, that is infrastructure, that's regulation, and its momentum all brewing together at the same time. So whether you think it's going to $10 or maybe you're betting on the $2,000 dream, one thing is clear: XRP is in motion. And in crypto, the coins that move with conviction, backed by utility, community, and institutional support, they're the ones that end up changing the game and leading the charge. So do not sleep on it. XRP, the story is still unfolding. And if you're paying attention, you may just catch the next big chapter before the rest of the world wakes up. This is JRNY TV. As always, stay early, stay informed, and we will catch you in the next one.